Okay, so to continue with the different draw commands in AutoCAD, they are actually categorized into several. Okay, so the first one is linear, then we have curve commands and special objects. And then regarding sa display commands, I will also be discussing them after this three classification of draw commands in AutoCAD. Okay, let's start with line. You can actually activate the command line by clicking this icon. So, isang click lang using the left button and the command prompts you to specify first point. So, you can pick anywhere. And as you can see, my cursor is currently on a straight movement, particularly 90 degrees from the first point that I picked. You can turn off ortho. Again, this is the status bar wherein it contains of several drawing tools. So, andyan po si ortho. So, when I turn ortho off, your cursor is free moving. Okay? Ortho on and off is not just limited to line. Okay? Basta yung command po nagpa-prompt ng point, you can turn this on and off. Okay? Anyway, I'll just going be I will be picking point another here because you need 2 points to connect, so we can form a single line segment. And then the next one is you are still prompted to specify another point. Okay, so this time we will be doing a straight movement. So you can click the ortho icon dun sa may status bar, or you can also press F8 sa may function keys. Okay, so guide it. You can also specify exact amount, but let us just assume another point and click. And you have two options to terminate the command. Either you press enter or escape. Okay, so this object is created through line command, and when you click it or pre-select it, ibig sabihin you are selecting it with no command in progress. There are several grips displayed. So let's check the one in the middle. So when you click that, that is to move. Okay? So may separate po tayo na move command. And when you click those ones that are in the end, you can modify the object. You can stretch, you can lengthen. Okay? And escape ko lang to deselect. And you can also click this. And I will be turning off my ortho this time. And when I hover my cursor on the grip, you have two options to stretch or to lengthen. Let's check the stretch. You can stretch it on any angle, on any plane, on any axis, but when you hover and select lengthen, you modify the size but only of the same axis or X and Y plane. Okay? So that is line. And grips are not just limited to line. You can also use them with other objects in CAD. Next is polyline. Okay, so PL, enter. So I will be picking 1 and 2. And actually, naka-on si Ortho Snap Tracking. O, ayan. Kaya diretso siya. So, pwede din pong walang ortho on. Anyway, so pick another point. Enter. They look the same. So, ano bang difference ni polyline kay line? When you create objects out of line objects, each segment is an individual object. But for polyline, even if it consists of 100 segments, isang object lang po siya, or ang tawag sa AutoCAD, polyline entity. Okay? So, when I click this, or when I pre-select it, meron din siyang grips, but may difference po sila. Although on both ends, you can stretch and you can lengthen, the middle grip differs from the other. Okay? So, you can either stretch it, pwede po. Kasi yung sa line, you move it eh. You can add vertex, ibig sabihin you can add another grip and convert to arc. So, dito tayo. Yan. You can convert your polyline segment into an arc segment. Okay? Sige, escape. Followed by Xline. You can type XL on the command line, or you can as well click the icon. Xline or construction line is an infinite line, so you can click anywhere. Yan. You can also turn ortho on. Diretso naman siya. On every 90 degrees. Okay? But, off ko yung ortho and escape. I don't typically use Xline, but at least you have an idea what an Xline is. Even if you pan your drawing or hanapin po yung dulo, you will not be able to see it because it's an infinite line. Okay? I will just be deleting those Xlines kasi hindi po natin sila kailangan. They are visual nuisance. And the other or another parang relative ni Xline is ray. This one is semi-infinite. Okay? Semi-infinite, ibig sabihin the other point is finite and the other is not. So makikita nyo nasa dulo po yung starting point ng isa while the other hindi nyo po makikita kasi nga semi-infinite siya. Okay? Again, that's another erase command. I will just be deleting them. Okay, and press enter. So, nothing more. Okay, so those were the linears. Next, we have the curve commands. Okay, I will just be clicking the arc command here. So, we have several ways to create an arc, but let's start with the mostly used 3-point. So, that is 1, 2, and 3. Enter to repeat the previous command, 1, 2, 3. So, pwede rin po siyang i-modify. Okay? Ang difference nga lang niya, we have another grip dito banda kasi bakit? This is arc actually is a part of a circle. So, the one in the center is a center of a circle na part po ng arc or wherein the arc is part of. Okay? Next is the circle itself. We also have several ways to create circles. So, let us click this arrow. And we have the center, diameter, and many other options, but this is the most widely used. When you pick a center and you pick another point, so that is the radius. So you pick one point because you were prompted to pick a center or center point of the circle and another one for the radius. Okay, ito po yung radius niya, yan. Okay, so just click lang dito and select, and then you click the grips. After the grips, you can click the one in the middle or the center, sorry. That is to move. And quadrants, these are quadrants. You see these quadrant grips, you click that, you modify the size of the circle. Okay? Escape. We have Spline or Spline. So the shortcut is SPL, but when we click the draw panel, it extends and we have here several. Okay? So click natin yung spline fit. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and enter. So, let's make another one. Balik tayo dito. Control vertices naman yung gagamitin natin this time. So, click that. Pick 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter. Actually, we just pick almost the same set of points, but may difference po dun sa outcome niya. But when we click this, you can still modify. Yan. You can still stretch. Same with the other one dun sa taas, but look at the difference of their grips. Okay? So it's up to the user preference on which spline option to use, but either way, they can just create almost the same object. Depende nga lang dun sa mga control grips niya. I very seldom use spline. Bihira lang. Or maybe on your part, you might be a little curvy with your planning and design. So spline is a good AutoCAD draw command. Next is we have ellipse or biluhaba or oblong. Okay? So when I click this, meron siyang center, axis, endpoint, and elliptical arc. So we have three ways, but we're going to pick the first one. Okay? So dito lang siya. One, you can do ortho on for this. Yan. Two, and three. You can specify exact amount, but what we're doing right now is we are just assuming muna. Okay? And same, you can still I can still modify it. Yan. Okay. So, parang circle din siya. Pero, medyo complicated nga lang siya ng konti sa circle because, unlike circle, yung radius niya is that is all over na. Ito kasi meron siyang 2 axes. Okay? And, the last for curve commands, we have the Revcloud. Okay? So, for the Revcloud, let us just click here. Ito po yun. So, we have several ways. You can either make a rectangular Revcloud, a polygonal, and a freehand. So, hindi ko ganun ginagamit to, but let us see what it looks like. And one, and click mo ng isa, then you guide it. And click another one. Okay, so this is your Revcloud, rectangular, kasi yun po yung kinlik natin na option. Okay, ano pong purpose ng rectangular Revcloud? Okay, so this is actually intended for correction and markups. For example, merong isang working set of drawings and you are collaborating with other professionals. Tapos, sabihin na natin you are the senior designer or senior architect and you have corrections or meron kang gustong paayos dun sa part ng drawing. So, you can easily highlight your annotations or markups with using a Revcloud. Kasi yung talagang pangalan ng Revcloud is Revision Cloud. So, it's intended to catch attention. Okay? Special objects. Okay, one of the mostly used. We have rectangle. This is the icon. So, as you can see, dalawang blue points. You just ibig sabihin, you have to pick two opposite points. 1 and 2. Pwede dito, pwede doon. Again, pwede po maglagay ng specific amount. Let's say width is 4, length is 3. But don't worry, we will be discussing them every now and then. Kaya matatandaan nyo po sila. Okay? And we have polygon. When you click the polygon or type POL on the command line, you are prompted to specify number of sides. Let's say we wanted 8 sides or octagon. Enter. And pag sinabing polygon, these are actually equidistant objects. Okay? So, specify center of polygon. I'll just be picking here. Click. And inscribe lang to. Enter lang muna natin. Didiscuss ko to ng separate. And there you go. And it's asking for a radius of circle. Kasi pag gumawa po ng polygon sa AutoCAD, naka-base po siya sa isang circle. Okay? So, click. And you have now an octagon with equidistant sides or all sides are equal. Okay? And we have hatch. Okay, let us see what hatch can do. Click hatch. And this is the hatch editor box. So we have, sabihin natin pattern muna. Sige. And click dito. Maybe the concrete. Click. Click inside. As you can see, bakit ganun yung itsura niya? Maybe the scaling is too big. So, let us click this arrow or press to see what scale suits our object. Yan. It's scaling down. Okay. There you go. So, you can actually scale it up again by pressing the arrow. Although you can specify an exact amount if you have the idea. But if none, parang nag-a-assume ka lang, these arrows are very helpful. Okay, let's change the pattern. Oh, sorry. I-close ko muna siya. Then, age ulit. Pili ako. Let's say eto. Click. Click inside. enter or close. And enter or age ulit. Meron tayo dito pick points. Yung kanina kasi nag-select object tayo because these are closed objects, octagon and the rectangle. Let's try to do here inside the Revcloud. So pag ganon, pick point siya. Hindi siya select object kasi you are just specifying a boundary or area. So click pick points, hanap tayo ng ibang pattern. Say the cross. Click and ayan. It's too small, so make it bigger. Or let's see, sabihin natin 0.5. Okay, masyado malaki si 0.5. 0.05. Ayun. And close. Okay, by the way, check natin yung units by UN command. Currently naka meters. Though you have other options for this, but let us select meters. Yung ibang architects, they are using millimeters, but I'm fine with meters. Okay? So, click OK. And then, that's for hatch. So, let's create another several objects. Rectangle ulit. Pick 1 and 2. Okay. So, dito tayo. So, gradient naman or GD. Okay. Just the same with hatch. Okay. Yan. When you click, you have two colors to choose. Pwedeng palitan natin siya. Yan. Tapos, you can change the angle. Parang sa Photoshop, Illustrator lang. Sa meron din ganyan. Yes, sa PowerPoint. Okay, so just click that. Ayan. Ayan siya. And you can actually pick another point. Pwedeng mag-hatch ka simultaneously. Yan. Okay? So, enter. Next, I'll be creating a circle. Dito banda. Yan. So, nakalagay dito or another one is gradient ulit. Sige. GD. Enter. So, kanina, select object or pwedeng pick points. Pero pag ganito, pick points lang yung option natin. Pag nag-overlap. Pick points. And click dito. And then, palitan ko siya ng kulay. Maybe orange. Or hindi ganun visible. The green or maybe white. And this one will be orange. And click. If I will be erasing this, ayun. Yung part lang na yan. Okay? Sige. Let's make another circle dito. Okay, this time it's boundary. Say you wanted a new object out of this area, out of these two objects na nag-overlap. So, may boundary doon. You can create a boundary or separate object out of closed area provided it's closed. Okay, so let us see. Click boundary. Click pick points and click inside. You see, nag-create siya parang si Pac-Man. It created a new object out of those closed area. Kasi hindi mo siya magagawa kung mamano-mano mo. So, that's the easiest and most convenient way. So, enter. And there you go. You have a new object. Okay? And that ends the several draw commands. So, display command lang tayo before I end this particular part of our introduction. So, P for pan or pan. This is a tool to shift your drawing space from one place to another. You just have to press your left button when you do the pan command. Or, escape lang ako. The easiest way is this. Okay? And for zoom, again, you can use your middle mouse by scrolling up and down. Okay? Or, might as well, Z, enter. Meron siyang real time. So, sa real time, you will be picking two opposite points. 1 and 2. Click. There you go. So, if you fit po niya sa screen, yung zoom window na kinreate mo. And let's say meron pa akong another circle dito, nasa malayo. Tapos, I was doing pan again and again, hindi ko siya makita. So, what you can do is Z enter and E enter. So, extend. Kung hanggang saan ka merong object, i-fit po niya sa screen. Okay? So, I will just be eliminating that. Erase. So, that ends our draw commands and two of the most commonly used display commands. Actually, cube, navigation bar, display commands din sila. But for 2D, it's the mostly used are pan and zoom. Okay? So, let's proceed with the next one.